G'day and welcome to Cuba de Rio. I'm Matt Scollay. We find ourselves at the end of what is undoubtedly one of my favourite weeks of the entire trip so far. We climbed volcanoes, we saw lava, yes! We were in caves with candlesticks, and it's all on a foundation, a very strong foundation of deep religiosity, given it's been the Easter week here in Guatemala. So we start our trip, we're going back to Champay, which is that national park in the centre of Guatemala where I broadcast the last one from, but I failed to figure out how to fit the little package I made for that into last week's broadcast because it was just going to be too long. And so we're going to start there in Champay before coming down to Antigua, which is famous for its Easter week celebrations. There's all sorts of things going on there, but Antigua is special in that it's surrounded by volcanoes, which we climbed. Volcan Atacatenango, 3,972 metres. Don't believe the incorrect fact I pronounced later. And that was undoubtedly my favourite thing of the entire trip so far. So have a listen, enjoy, and we're in Flores right now, which is all the way up towards the Mexican border to the north. And next week we're going to visit one of Guatemala's most famous Mayan ruins in Tikal. This is the bumpy road to Champay, where the Rio Carbon comes out from underground in a lot of cases. And this leads to these fantastic sort of river caves, which have everything from stalagmites and stalactites, but all with this crazy river going through it. And we went in one of these caves with candles like Harry Potter wands lit before us. And often the water was so deep that you had to sort of swim with a candle gripped between your teeth like a knife. And we did these huge 4-metre jumps inside the cage into pitch blackness. And once outside, you came out to this beautiful tiered waterfall, just like in Roberto Barrios there in Mexico, that you could jump off like 9-metre, 12-metre jumps. And it was just a great day overall. We're at the night markets in Antigua and it's just bubbling with food and deliciousness. Tonight I've had pupusas, a traditional Guatemalan dish called, which are like fat tortillas full of cheese or pig's gristle, and also had buñuelos, which are like basically spherical donuts, but very eggy, which have a sort of cinnamon tea poured over them. But it's just been amazing coming into Antigua today from Champay because we were stuck in traffic for an hour and a half because of a religious procession as Semana Santa has kicked off in style here in Antigua. And in addition to that, as we're coming in, stuck in our traffic, we got this marvellous sunset behind Antigua's two main volcanoes, Volcan Fuego and Volcan Atacatenango. And Volcan Fuego was slightly erupting as we came in, which was exciting to see, as we'll be climbing its fellow Atacatenango tomorrow, which I'm so keen to do. We're on Volcan Atacatenango, and it's been a pretty rough hike so far. We started at the bottom there, and the first, I don't know, maybe hour was just in these deep trench valleys of volcanic ash and rock, and there was dust and the floor was all loose. It was really tough. But then we came up through cloud forest, and right now we're at the top where there's sort of a native pine forest that was destroyed by a fire in 2006, and means that a beetle infestation has managed to attack all the pines, and they've all got these little tiny boreholes in them that show that once the beetles get in, they die within 90 days. And these boreholes are just riddling the entire surface of the dead pines around me. And rather temptingly, the entire time we've been walking up this volcano, we've been hearing the soft explosions from its sister volcano, Volcán Fuego, which is so tempting, and I'm so excited to see it. Volcano watching is a thoroughly frustrating sport. We are sat here, the sun has gone down behind some glorious clouds, and our fingers and toes are fucking freezing, and this bastard has not launched any gas or lava. Here it goes. But that stuff's, it's becoming nighttime, so the lava's actually visible to us now. Oh, I love this volcano! Blokes hard at work cutting wood, and the sun is below the horizon now, and the clouds are just like losing that red tinge. And as we look around, those like bug-infested pine trees make such an eerie, death-like sort of landscape, in which behind this volcano is just spitting out red lava like sparks the whole time. It's so pretty. Oh my god, I'm gonna be awake all night watching this gorgeous mountain. And the campsite we've got looks right across to Volcán Fuego. We're on the slopes of Volcán Acatenango while we're here, but Volcán Fuego there's nothing between it and us but a kilometre of space and air. So that is why I'm getting so excited every time. And there's a thunderstorm to the northwest as well now. There's so much going on right now. This is the best. And the campsite's like on the slopes of the hill. And so like where they're cutting wood is getting very dark right now. And you have to cross a number of valleys where previous tourists have taken a lot of shits. So I'm not game enough to go collect wood anymore. Don't want to step in anything. It's so weird to be recording audio of this amazing visual event. Like as night has fallen, the lights of Antigua have just erupted. Terrible choice of word, I'm sorry. Have just ignited, that's better, down to the left of Volcán Fuego at the same time as all the lava is becoming visible. And it's just incredible. Like, this mountain is randomly throwing up like chunks of liquid rock about 150 meters into the air without any warning whatsoever. And it's just completely random. I think that's why I love these things so much. Like, no one can predict when they're gonna spill their shit into the sky. It's just incredible to watch. Alright, the accompanying photos to this podcast are now costing me in physical ways. I've been out here in the cold in my thermals, gloves and beanie for over an hour waiting for this volcano to go off, and I'm so cold and I'm not sure it'll pay off. But Jesus, it's been good earlier this evening, but it's not behaving now, the bastard. Fuck. Whoa! That was undoubtedly the largest of the night so far. Like, literally about 30 seconds after I made that whingy podcast, and there is rivers of lava rocks just pouring off the sides. This volcano's got a cliff off to the left-hand side of it, and there is an avalanche of fucking lava falling off. I am so pleased, and the photos I have got to go are so good. Alright, good night. See you in the morning.
cool with that?
Yeah, no, man, there's eruptions going on behind me all the time.
So we made it to the top, 3,927 meters of altitude, Akatanango, done. And as the sun rises, we're going to be the third group of people in the entirety of Central America to feel its rays, because this is the third highest mountain on this part of the continent. And the whole time we've been coming up here, old mate Volcan Fuego has just been shrugging off gas and lava, but as the dawn brightness sort of raises the sky's lightness, it's turning down the lava, and so we're seeing a lot more gas than we did last night, which is a shame because that's what I'm in love with. At the same time though, the city lights of Antigua, Guatemala City, and right behind me, because the weather is so clear, we can say all the way to Tajumulco, the tallest mountain in Central America, 4,220 meters. And between me and Tajumulco lies Lake Atilan, which we've already visited. And this has been certainly the most rewarding and the best part of my trip. We were woken up at 3 a.m. by the biggest eruption. It was just so awesome. The volcano was just like shedding lava off both sides, not just the usual one. So it was a big one, and everyone got woken up. And as the sun broke the horizon just behind Antigua below us, we've noticed a rather rare phenomenon in that the shadow of Volcan Akatanango is stretching out towards the moon across the clouds, and it is so surreal to see. It just looks like another giant volcano in the midground there. It's incredible. And there's probably about 100, maybe 70 to 100 tourists on the rim of this Volcan Akatanango this morning. And we've got a very scary reminder that it is still just a dormant volcano. It last erupted 50 years ago, because I came down here and there's all these little holes around the rim of the volcano, and I thought people had just dug them to take a dump and to not bothered because it's quite exposed. But this particular hole's got a lot of very hot smoke coming out of it, and you can warm your hands in it. It's an alive creature, this volcano. Ooh. And Volcan Fuego is just giving us a little bit of its 747 impression. Lovely finish. And once we fled down the scree from the summit there, we had breakfast, and I decided to have one last session of volcano watching, and what a beauty. Oh my god. I'm in the middle of one of Antigua's famous Semana Santa processions. These happen all throughout the Easter week here, and it's got all the details I loved about Quetzaltenango's procession. It's got the Jesus generator powering these huge platforms with Jesus and his mates on it. It's got the bands, however, this time they're in time here. But it's also got a few more costumes that I like. It's got Joseph with the turbans and the like, and also a bunch of Roman soldiers as well. My favourite addition to these Antigua marches are that the platforms that they carry, there's about 30 individuals carrying these platforms here. They are that huge. But they also are so huge and tall that they require people on either side of the platforms with these long poles to lift the telegraph wires over and above the platforms, which is a nice touch, I feel. In my day off, I've decided to take a tour with a Honduran that I met down at the supermarket, Jorge, and he knows so much about Antigua, so it's very useful. So we're wandering past all these ruins which really characterize Antigua, and there's ruins mainly because in 1873 there was a huge earthquake here that leveled at the time Central America's second biggest city after Mexico City, and the ruins have not been reconstructed. There's only been a couple of main churches that have been built up again, but there's just the city here in Antigua is littered with these gorgeous old like church facades in stark contrast to the bustling streets around them. That is the sound of nearly dozens of ice cream sellers here in Antigua. This is Viernes Santo, so it's Easter Friday, and this is the biggest day of the cultural celebrations around Easter time here in Antigua. And the city has risen to the occasion in the most spectacular fashion, and it's full to the brim with tourists. There's tourists of not just the foreign kind, but also there's Guatemalans here on their holidays, and it's just brilliant to see. The city's full of thousands of people. However, I will not be part of the celebrations because yesterday I finished off my excellent tour with Jorge, the most fabulous Honduran tour guide, with a milkshake, and I believe the ice in that has brought me to my knees, and I'm dying from a stomach bug, so I'm headed back to the hostel to go rest up, and so I can survive my bus to Flores tonight. But it's very nice to see Antigua at capacity. It's just incredible the amount of people here, and the vendors are in full swing. Everything you could imagine is on sale here, from the typical sort of clothing to these amazing little whistles that sound like anything from cats to blackbirds. So it's a pretty amazing atmosphere, but sadly it can't overcome what I'm feeling inside right now. So coming into Guatemala City this afternoon was incredible. There was no traffic whatsoever, thanks to it being Easter Friday and everyone in their respective towns watching processions and the like. But it was pretty amazing coming into this city of 4 million people, because we got to pass all of the places that the Renuncia Ya movement was active last year, this time last year, in March last year. And it was good to see the Plaza del Gobierno and the Palace of Justice and all those things. And it was great having a chat with the bus driver about all the changes that have taken place, especially since Jimmy Morales has been in power 2.5 months here now, and the changes that he's brought into place. But I thought now that we're in the core of Guatemala, it might be a chance to get to know the country a little more. And so it's a country of 16 million people, 4 million of which live here in Guatemala City, and the majority live between Guatemala and Guatemala City and Quetzaltenango, which I'm surprised to learn is the second biggest city in Guatemala. But 41% of all Guatemalans have indigenous roots, which is again a huge percentage, and part of the Renuncia Ya movement's success has been bringing these people into the political fold, albeit with some success, not total success. And before I forget, I learnt the reason why the chicken buses here are so beautifully adorned with chrome and all sorts of things. I've even seen chicken buses with chrome lightning bolts on their windscreen wipers, which are quite comical to see. But the reason why the chicken buses have acquired this rather crazy sort of fashion sense is because back in the day, so much of Guatemala's population was illiterate. And so they started painting the old US school buses different colours so that the illiterate people could recognise the different routes to different cities and the like. And over time, that's transformed into this amazing contest of machismo and fashion sense that they're absolutely covered in chrome flames and gorgeous artwork. And yeah, they're really one of the highlights of Guatemala, even though they do drive like complete maniacs on their very, very tight and windy roads. But yeah, I'm feeling a little better despite still being rather gassy after all my food poisoning woes. But we're headed to Flores, which is an incredible island in the middle of a lake up north, and it's going to be fun. It looks very much like Guatemala's Venice, so yeah, keen to check it out. I'm wandering around Flores, which is a gorgeous little island connected by a bridge to the mainland of Guatemala. We're right up near the Mexico border in Tikal. If you can imagine Guatemala on a map, it's got this very large square section that just sticks up into the bottom, into the sort of far east corner of Mexico, close to the Yucatan Peninsula there. And yeah, I'm going out to dinner. My stomach's back in action, so it's good. But Flores is a special place, and it links back to Chichen Itza, because after the Itzas were chased out of Chichen Itza in, I think it was AD 1924, the society there continued for another few years, but in 1224, I've got a guidebook these days, so I've got these dates all down pat. You can these are straight out of the Lonely Planet. So in 1224, Chichen Itza, this city over there in Mexico, was abandoned, and they all came here to Flores, which is a small island in the middle of a lake. And this was the last of a last sort of hub of practicing Mayan culture. And it was going well for a good few years there. It was even visited by the conquistador Cortez in the early 1500s. But 150 years later, or nearly that, in 1697, the Spaniards lost patience with these Mayans and destroyed the last remaining vestige of their culture. And all the temples and things that used to belong here on Flores were destroyed in the pillage of this town. But today's been good. I've just been wandering around this gorgeous little island, feeling better all the time. Had a couple of swims in the fabulously warm lake to some nearby islands, and balanced all that goodness out by seeing Batman vs Superman there in the hot part of the afternoon. And that was dreadful, but worthwhile. It's necessary to know what the internet was so angry about. Anyway, But anyway, there's an interesting little thing about this island here, is that they really can't understand the level of the water here. It's just incredible. Like, the main road on the northern part of the island is completely submerged, and none of them seem to do anything about it. They just keep driving their tuk-tuks and cars through it as if nothing had happened. So I'd love to know what's behind that, because that's not the first time I've seen submerged stuff on a Guatemalan lake, or even around Lake Atilan. There was a bunch of submerged houses and the like. And I don't know whether it's just corrupt sort of city planners that are selling blocks of land that are underwater to people or what, but I'd love to know. And another attraction there is 1773, when the earthquake leveled Antigua, not 1873, which is crazy to think that some of those church facades have been there since before the British discovery of Australia in 1777 by James Cook. Anyway, we've got a rather unexpected chat coming up next with two of my favourite people from the Puerco Escondido crowd all the way back in Mexico a few weeks ago. So I will let them introduce themselves.
I'm Lena and I'm from Österreich.
Österreich.
I'm Eva and I'm from Austria as well.
And you guys started travelling together quite serendipitously, I remember.
5 months ago.
5 months ago, shit. But you both separately planned world trips without knowing it somehow.
True. Yeah. Both of us had the same plan for the same year and the same month. And then we had dinner, and then everyone was telling the same story, and then we said, let's do it together.
How much did you have to change to get those
Nothing.
plans to fit? All right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We just have to find one date to book our first flight.
Yeah, first I thought I should start my trip in Asia.
Yeah.
Because when I travel alone, I thought it's maybe easier to start in Asia. But then, yeah, we said let's start in America, and it's like, yeah, let's do it.
And so where did you fly into eventually?
New York.
Oh, so you did like a bit in the States. How does the States compare with what you've
It's
seen
on the
down
way,
here in
it's
South
on the
America?
on the way to Central America.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Europe, from Austria out, it's the way to Central America. And that's where we want to go for
Yeah.
surfing and learning Spanish.
Oh, so was the like main idea of the trip?
Yeah.
Like Spanish
For me
Yeah.
and surfing.
and surfing. And how much of each have you guys done?
Enough. I'm okay. It could be more, but it was not disappointing till now.
Yeah. Like the reason I've got you guys on the podcast is because like we've met again. I
Yeah.
met you guys first in that fabulous hostel in Puerto Escondido, and now we've like looped back around to find each other in Flores in Guatemala. Issa and I really loved that hostel just because it had so many volunteers in it, and it felt like a proper little community of people that did everything together, and that's why I think I stayed like way more nights than I originally intended. But was it like actually working in that hostel?
It was okay.
It was okay
It
now,
was
but
easy.
It not bad. But
Yeah,
it just
it was-
seemed like there was so much happening there. There were people all the time. It was
Yes, the hostel is great and the location is shit. That's the problem.
yeah.
But it was close enough to that beach that we saw turtles at every single day of the week.
No,
so,
it was not
But
good enough.
it's
For me, it's like I would never ever go there again.
but
that
you
makes
didn't
no
get that
sense for
impression
me.
while you were there. You guys just sort of had adopted it into your routine, I guess. Like,
Nah, but it's not a place where you should go. If friends ask
for
me,
holidays.
I was not just. I would not recommend this hostel.
That's crazy. Like Issa and I had such like a great sense of like being part of something while there, but it's bizarre that you guys don't.
No, it wasn't really
We
like.
like the people
the
who were
people,
there.
yeah.
The people were nice, but it's not about the hostel. You meet everywhere nice people,
Yeah.
and it's not about the hostel. It's the same like in Tulum. We met these nice 3 Germans, but it's the hostel.
It was bad.
I really don't like it.
No, I would never recommend this hostel in Tulum to anyone else.
The Casa del Sol.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, in Tulum.
Yeah.
That's where I stayed. I
Yes.
hope that wasn't a recommendation of mine.
No, it was
No.
somewhere else.
I enjoyed it just for the breakfast that they had there.
Oh, the pancakes with the
Pancakes were amazing.
leche dulce.
Yeah, they were
Wow.
fine.
It was okay.
No,
But she was always grumpy.
Yeah, no, there were grumpy
Yeah,
people
that's
all
the
the time
thing.
there.
It-
Oh, that's
So
weird
it's
because
the same. I wouldn't recommend. And we met really nice Germans, and we had a lot of fun with them and enjoyed the time. But the hostel was shit.
yeah,
And so it's not about the hostel. It's the same in Puerto Escondido. The hostel was not shit in Puerto Escondido. It was
No,
a nice.
it was just the
hostel.
location.
The location was really bad for me. It was like.
you see, but for me, like the place and the people
Yeah,
are
it's
so
the people.
intrinsically linked that
Yeah.
like I would recommend the hostel just because there was a good crowd there all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
you
Even though I
don't-
know that I
Yeah.
would warn that the location was terrible and so far away from most important things
Yeah,
to a
if you
traveler's
have to
life.
go 15 minutes to go to
And
the
I
beach,
think it does.
far
I
too-
think there in every hostel you can meet really nice people and really awful people or
Yeah.
shitty people. And it's not. It's so hard to recommend a hostel because if you have a good time with people, it's maybe not the hostel, it's the people.
Yeah, true.
So it's
I always confuse the
that's
two.
it. No. It's the thing for me too because sometimes you stay in a really good place and you like it because everything is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I would never ever. I think I would never ever go. Even if I go back to Puerto Escondido, I would find the other hostel next
Yeah,
to the
near the
beach.
Punta.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what was your impression of Mexico overall as like a
amazing.
good food, nice people. tropical.
beautiful, colorful,
Yeah.
and just a great place. We spent almost 3 months there.
Oh my god, I had no idea it was that long.
Yeah, we arrived on the 4th of January.
Jesus.
Yeah, and we left 2 days ago.
So are you relieved that you're in the next country now?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
more expensive.
Oh,
Because the food is more expensive, so we realized that we're in another country.
we're suddenly in another place. Yeah, no, we definitely have like different styles of travel. Like you guys have given yourself, what is it, 2 years to?
2.5 years at least.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And like, but you guys just seem to take things so slow and like
Yeah.
just at a steady pace, whereas I'm just like, get to the
Yeah,
next.
but you're not faster.
I'm not faster.
we thought we will never ever see you again because you're like, I have to be there and I have to go there and da. And now we're in Guatemala. And we
Flores.
catch up and
Yeah, mainly because I'm terrible at planning my route, and that I am so close to where I started
Yeah.
my trip in Cancun,
Yeah.
like the Yucatan,
Yeah.
before I'll then disappear to another part of the world. Yeah, no, that's just bad planning on my part. But I don't like crossing borders, so that's why I'm back up in this corner.
yeah.
Yeah, to minimize border crossings. And what's the rest of the trip got in store for you guys?
Now we go to Guatemala on the Pacific coast,
Yeah.
volunteering for 1 month. And then we will go down El Salvador, Nicaragua, and I think not too long in Costa Rica and Panama because of super expensive, what we
Yeah.
heard. And then it's so far away, so that's all we know.
Yeah.
And then South America, of course, but how and when and how long and whatever.
Yeah. And so what sort of like challenges have you guys found traveling through North and Central America?
None.
None.
No, it's quite
Just-
easy.
Yeah.
It's super easy,
It's super easy.
and it's the whole world trip thing. It's just do it. Because if you're staying at home, you're always wondering, what is that? Do I have enough money? Blah blah blah. All the things. Just go. It will work out. It will work out. It will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said something interesting today that was like it's not going to be the only time that you're going to come to these places. Like you've been to Guatemala before and you're coming back here.
Yeah.
Like if people treat like they have to see absolutely everything in one trip, and you're just like, nah, just take your
Yeah.
time with where you're at.
And
No, it
if
makes
you
no
make
sense.
and if you hustle and make a stress out of it, what is the point and the fun of it?
Yeah.
You should enjoy it. And yeah, okay, and then I miss San Cristobal. Antigua looks the same, so it's like just go with the flow and don't make too much pressure on, I have to do this. It's not on a list. We're not working on a list.
No, I think a
big
lot of
one,
people
but not like points.
Yeah.
top points. Yeah. And what would be your top like recommendations for?
Takawa,
Chacao. Laguna Chacao
Mexico.
and Sayulita.
yeah.
Give us a bit more detail about Chacao. What is it like?
Chacao is just a small lagoon with 800 people. And when we've been there, we were just 15 tourists only.
Wow. But like, so this would be in Mexico, right?
Yeah, it's in
but
Mexico.
whereabouts in
It's in the
Mexico?
north of Puerto Escondido. 1 hour from Puerto Escondido.
Oh, is this the Laguna with like the phosphorescence in it?
See.
No,
No, another one. But
another
it's there also.
Oh, all right. So
The
did you guys?
phosphorescent thing, it's on a lot of different places.
Yeah.
It's not only there. They're making money
They
out of
make a
it.
big
They
deal
say
about it. Yeah.
It's not true.
But in Chacao, you can see manta rays jumping out of the water.
All the time.
Oh, but we also
And-
had that fabulous boat trip where we saw.
No, you sit on the beach and they're jumping
Yeah,
front of
2
you.
meter next to you.
and they swim next to you. You can.
Yeah.
It's 2 meters away and you can see
It's
a
the best
mountain.
place.
And a small one. It's
We
like
were really angry because we booked the flight on the 17th.
Yeah.
So we have to take that. And we're like, what the fuck? We can stay there for 2 weeks. So we only stayed there 4 nights. It was not enough. Then we go to Mazonte, and that's what, for me, it's one thing.
Yeah.
Just go there for a day trip. It's not worth it to sleep there.
We did Visunta in a day trip as
Yeah.
well. No, it seemed it's a very, very hot place and
Very,
with
very
With
a little to
crispy.
do. Very
Yeah.
little to do.
Yeah.
Oh well. And if like you had to give like one tip to people coming down to South America, what would you say to them?
Just enjoy and explore all the new stuff, like all the new food. If you never heard about it, taste it.
certainly. What have you tasted that surprised you?
Playudas, even the name is like, you have to say 10 times then.
Playudas?
Playudas.
Playudas?
Playudas. T-L-Ayudas.
Ayudas. What are they?
Playudas.
It's like
You never eat them in the hostel?
it's like a super big quesadilla, but stuffed with beans and avocados and tomatoes.
The best. And it's
shit.
only in Oaxaca.
It's
It's
just-
the typical food from Oaxaca.
Oh, well, I missed it then.
It's
I
so
haven't
big.
really
You have to go back.
It's like a calzone,
Yeah,
but with the tortilla dough, and it's so big.
yeah. Oh, that's
that we
amazing. Like,
Shared it. the
I'm
whole time.
already
Or
missing the
tamales
Mexican
and-
food.
yeah,
Like,
tamales.
Guatemala's food is basically Central America's food, and that it's all just like rice, beans, and like base ingredients. Whereas Mexico's food had so much going for it, and like even 2 weeks gone, I'm missing it already.
Have you
Yeah, the
ever
food is
tried nopales?
No,
Pales
what are
is
they?
amazing.
It's a cactus.
Jamaica.
Oh, they're like the cactus. Didn't they make it into juice and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I think
But
I
you
did.
can
Nopales
eat
is
it.
good.
Nopales,
Jamaica
Jamaica.
is good.
Jamaica was the red
It's
sort of
Rizos.
cordial.
Yeah, but and
Yeah.
the palm hearts.
Oh yeah, palm nuts.
Palm nuts.
What were they?
In a salad.
In a salad, it
I
was
don't know.
amazing.
In Nutella.
It was just good. No, in a salad, and it was like just we were eating it. It was like, what the fuck is that? It's so tasty. Yeah, in Bacala, at Laguna Bacala, we ate a salad,
And we got it in Mexico City.
It was so good.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So
Well,
you missed-
clearly
you
we
missed
all just
all
focus
the
on the
good
food
food.
as we move through. Like, well then, how are you guys staying healthy while you're traveling? Because like people have seen my photos and commented on what's a growing avocado belly that I have, but
We don't care about it.
no.
No.
No morning exercise. Like we did some swimming today.
Yeah, sometimes we go for surfing if there's surf. And no, we're not into doing a lot of. We do what we want to do, but it's not about I gain on weight or losing weight. It's not. I don't do it at home, so I don't do it.
Don't do it here.
Just
either.
enjoy it.
Yeah, true. Where's your next surfing spot going to be?
El Pavedon.
El Paredon.
Is that here in Guatemala?
Yeah, it's-
Down near Monterrey.
It's on the Pacific coast.
Pacific
We
Coast.
hope there's good
We've
surf.
got to get back to the Pacific, man.
Yeah.
I'm a week away from diving in Utila, so I'm keen to get back in the sea. Like the lake here is not doing it for me. Like
No.
fresh water and still water, it's just not the same. It
No.
doesn't have the same.
So you doing a scuba diving license or?
Yeah, I'll do a week-long paddy course up in
Yeah,
the
I've
top
did
of
it
Honduras
also
there.
in
It's the
Utila.
cheapest place in the world to do
I know.
it. So.
I did it there 4 years ago.
Oh right.
Utila.
Well, what was it like then?
Nice, but there's not colorful reefs or anything.
No, I've heard this.
Nah, it's not.
But
But it's fun.
there's whale sharks at this time of year apparently.
Yeah, they
Oh,
told
yeah,
us the
that's
same, but
They
yeah.
told us the same. No, you're freeing it.
But now
But
there's
it's not,
I've
sounds
got
solid.
magic powers with
But-
sea creatures. Remember,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I bought the whale to see us and all those turtles and like. So yeah. Oh well, okay. Well, we'll end it on that note then. Like Utila may be amazing, but at the same time.
No, Utila is really nice. It's so small. So
Yeah.
small island, and you can walk around and
Oh,
go to
sweet.
Skid Row and drink your ass off, and then you get a T-shirt.
All right.
You
Okay.
have to do it. Everyone does.
Well, I'll take a photo with the t-shirt and send it to you guys
Yeah,
once
I
I'm done.
have it with me, the T-shirt.
Oh, got your like badge of honor as you wander around Central America. Just like,
I
and,
survived Utila.
yeah, and we want to see a picture of the whale shark.
oh, me and the whale shark. Yeah, no, I'll try
Like
my best.
this, and he's smiling.
Yeah,
also.
he'll have his like gills out and
Yeah.
everything. He'll be lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, guys, and I'll see you down in Bolivia when you guys get
Or
down
maybe
that way.
in Sydney.
Months away. Cheers.
Yeah.
And that's it for another week. Make sure if you enjoy listening to the podcast, you check out the accompanying photos on the Facebook page. That's Cuba to Rio on Facebook. And next week will mark 10 weeks since we started broadcasting this project from South America. So I'll do a little review on how it's going with the equipment and editing techniques and the like, and how you are getting this beautiful art form delivered to your ears every single week in increasingly great style, hopefully. Anyway, if you enjoy listening to the podcast, make sure you leave a review on iTunes, as that will really help us out. And next week we'll start in the ancient Mayan ruins of Tikal before hopefully getting across the Honduran border to start a week-long dive course in Utila. So I will catch you then. Bye.